fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond, only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. "There's a frog in that pond. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort, spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me, that frog is. Catches them before I can bait them. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days." The fisherman sighed. "I've wasted so much time feeling like..." The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. "Well, listen to me here, rambling on and on. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask." "You saw the frog? Did the frog mention..." "You asked the frog about me. Actually, no, please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them. Poor little worms. They didn't..." "But how do you fish without them? One for me, one for the fishes. Slurp 'em down." "They say catching a fish isn't the point. So I tell myself that. I tell myself that a lot. I chased old Blue Betty round this pond for years. Best days of my life catching that fish. Had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me head ever since. If you need help catching anything, you just ask." The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. Its eyes were fixed on Ember, but it seemed to mean no harm. Was this the frog that the fisherman spoke of? Ember could hardly ignore the rumbling from the frog's belly. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The traveler spoke. You ever had roast frog, friend? I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle. The stranger had been forgotten. They tried to follow as best they could. But no one heard them when they fell behind. The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you. The old gate was locked. The crow held its shining trophy tight. The cave entrance was overgrown with dry brambles. The stranger whispered, "I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice." The worm looked helpless, with no way to escape. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp. He was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach. The broken net hung ominously around the skeleton's neck. The stranger shivered in the cold. They'd moved through such dark places. Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by the passing miles. They lay down and closed their eyes. The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep? Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. See, with a silk thread, the fisherman kept with each knot he tied. A net began to fall. Here you go. Good as new. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. This was not how Ember had imagined the end. The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then... the frog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn. The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The stranger spoke. You look hungry. There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't, but keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The ember was cured. I'm headed for the... I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place. The traveler said, "Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back." The stranger had blazed their own path. Created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." The path ahead lies behind that door. Do you wish that I open it? Know that if you return, you will always be welcome. Warm yourself, little one. Time is to be savored. He was nestled, but it was just out of reach. The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water sweeping above their head. He didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand. The stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend. The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Your journey lies ahead. Little one, your journey ahead will not be easy. The path to leave this place is blocked. I will guide others to follow after you clear the way." There are others like me who can help. You will always be welcome here in the forest. Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching. Ember approached the forlorn. They said, "I know what I need to do. I don't want to be helped." Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them.